Hello everybody, welcome to our Advent celebration. Today we're going to make our Advent tag number 2. So stay tuned and we'll get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up Design Space and we're going to go New Project. We're going to go to our Shapes and we're going to select the star. So we're just going to go into the little size here, and our height of our star is going to be, I'm not sure. So we're going to go and do the width, and the width of the star is going to be 3 inches. So I'm going to unlock it and I'm going to make the top of the star 2.5 inches. So then I'm going to duplicate the star, and I did that by pressing down the Alt key, and I'm just going to change the color of the stars so I can see what they look like. So we have 2 stars on our Design Space now. So what I need to do is I need to cut one of the stars down the middle. So how I'm going to do this is I'm just going to set that one off to the side so I can work on this one better. Is I am going to grab a shape, and I'm going to grab a circle and a square. First we're going to do the circle, and I'm just going to resize it really small, and I'm just going to drag it to what I think the middle is. So I'm just going to select both, and I'm going to center or align for the center. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to select both again. And I'm just going to line it up to the lines so the positions are on an even number. So I'm just going to do it on position 8.5. And then that means that my circle will be cut straight down on position up 10 inches on the mat. So now I'm going to grab my square, and then I'm going to resize it so it covers the side of the square, and I'm going to change its position to 10 on the X. And then from the layers panel, I'm going to select the circle and the square piece, and I'm going to weld them together so I get this very interesting shape. So then I'm going to select both of the star and the shape that I made, and I'm going to slice. So then I'll have our slice results. So I don't need the black slice result, so I'm just going to delete that, and then I'm going to delete that piece. And you see I've got 2 separate pieces here. So I'm just checking to see if both the stars go together, and what I'm going to do now is I am going to select both these shapes, and then I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm just going to set them off to the side there. So the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put the other star shape, I'm going to bring it to the front, and I need to make this smaller. Now what I did here in Design Space was just do it a little bit. I'm going to tell you now that you're going to need to make it even smaller than how I've had you do it here. So you can just tell I just have it just a little bit smaller on the inside, and I thought that would be good. You don't. You need it way smaller. So I would suggest making it, so you're going to need to make it smaller than I made it here, just by another maybe 1/8 of an inch, or in and around that area, because the star needs to slip into the other star in the paper, and we won't have room to glue around. So you are definitely going to have to make that just a little bit smaller than I have made it here. So now you can choose to do this if you want to, you don't have to. I am just going to put a bit of text in the little star. I opted not to because I decided to glue the pieces down, so I had to make sure that there was going to be room for the text. I'm just going to show you how to do it anyways, but I highly suggest just handwriting on your star when it comes time to put the little message, your little hidden message in it. So here I'm just looking for some text that is not expensive. I didn't realize it had the $6.99 on that, and I didn't want that. And so I'm just kind of going through, and I'm going through the filter, and I'm looking for free, but they didn't seem to have any Christmas for free. So I'm just going to look and see what I can find. So I found this text called Merlot. I'm just going to download the font, put it on my computer, and then I'm going to use that as text. So I'm just going to write out, let your heart be light. And then I'm going to just size it the way I want it to be sized, because it has to fit on the star. And I'm just going to make little breaks where I want it to be. So you're just going to see me click in somewhere. And then just press the enter key. And then press the enter key again. And then I'm just arranging it on the star. Now the problem with this is half of the star is probably going to be covered. So we can't really use that. So I'm just showing you that I'm using a pen and then color. So once this is done, we're going to go to make it, and we're going to cut it out on our Cricut. I'm going to cut mine without words. You can cut yours with words if that's what you want. And then I will meet you all over at the demo table. Alright, as you can see here, I have a piece of ephemera that I cut out of from our ephemera pack. You can use any ephemera that you want. And then I've grabbed a digital piece of paper that I used for the pockets, and I'm going to reuse again for this. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to line up this one star over the part of the ephemera that I want to use. Again, you can upload the ephemera into Digital Design Space, and you can put them onto your star if you want to, but I like getting messy and cutting and sticky when I'm doing my arts and crafts, so I'm just doing this by hand. So what I'm doing here is I'm just tracing around the star to where the places that I want to cut out, and I'm going to do that for both pieces. I'm going to do that for this piece and for the other piece. So once I finish tracing out stars on both of the pieces of ephemera that I'm using, then I'm going to cut it out. So that's this page that's done, and then I'm going to grab the digital paper that I want to use, and I'm going to do the same thing here. So once that's done, and I'm going to cut it all out, and I'm going to fast forward that part. So once everything is all cut out, I am going to glue the pieces onto our little cardstocks that we had cut out with the Cricut. So I'm just going to glue all the pieces down on the proper sides. And don't forget that you're going to have to glue the pieces on the opposite sides when you're gluing the back piece on, otherwise it won't show. So you can just see I'm just gluing it down, just making sure it's well adhered, and then I'm going to put glue on the back of this side, and then I'm going to glue that down. Alright, once that's done, then I have to do the other side. So I have to make sure that it's properly flipped over, and that's what I'm trying to figure out here. So what I did is I cut the paper out wrong, and I'm going to have to flip the star over, and I'm going to have to recut it out properly. So once that's done, then I can glue it down onto the star, and then we can get on to our next step. So now I am just going to line it up a little bit to see if it's fitting well. I'm looking at it. I like the way it's fitting. So now I'm going to take my distressed ink, and I think it's Twisted Twig is the one I'm using, and I'm going to ink around all the edges. So now that I've inked around all of the edges for all of them, I'm going to try and line up my little star with the outside pieces. So what I need to do here is I need to grab the pieces and make sure that my star can get in. Now when I'm gluing here, what I need to do is I need to glue around just so it doesn't hit the star pieces. Now if you see, I'm just lightly marking it with my pen just so I don't glue past those lines. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. I was going to have both of them slip in, but then I've decided differently, that I was just going to have it glued on the one side. So you just see me here going through, lining it up and making the marks. So now I'm going to remove the inner star, and I'm just going to put glue on the outside. Now you see I'm going just very light, very thin, right on the edge. Now when you're gluing, and I didn't realize this while I was gluing it, you don't need to do the last bottom leg. So you need to do this side, you need to do this side, but you do not, and you should not, glue the side that I'm gluing now. Leave that open, or your star's not going to be able to come in and out as you need it to do properly. So then we're going to add the opposite piece of that. We're just going to glue that down, and that should make a little pocket once it's done. So I'm just making sure it all fits down and it's all in there, and you have a little slip pocket for your star. Now for this part, you'll notice I'm putting glue on the inside of the marks that I had made, and that just makes it for easier gluing. So I'm going to put that down, then I'm going to glue my star down, and make sure that I stay within those lines. So I'm just slightly pressing it with my fingers, making sure that I'm not over the line anywhere and it's well lined up. And then once that's down, then I can glue the other piece on top of it. Now that the star is glued in there, you can see me with my gold glitter pen because I decided not to write in there. And then I'm just going to handwrite, "Let your heart be light," in there with my gold glitter pen. And then I'm just going to add like little stars. And it looks very pretty and I like it. So the next step after this is we can slip the star into the other side. As you can see, this is the part where I realized, oh, I shouldn't have glued the bottom piece. I can't get the bottom piece in, but it took a few times for me to realize that. So then I'm just going to pull up that bottom leg so it'll be able to slip in. So you just see me pulling up that bottom leg. So don't glue that bottom part in, and then I'm just going to slip it in together, and we have our tag number 2, and it's a surprise tag, and it pulls apart and it says, "Let your heart be light." And that's it for our tag for today. So I hope to see you tomorrow for tag number 3. I hope you enjoy your holidays today. We're just going to take our tag here and slip it into our Advent book in tag number 2 once I finish fooling around with it. And I hope you have wonderful holidays. I'm excited to see you all back here for tag number 3. Happy holidays from everybody here at Bette's Makes.